So abundant, this month at Interfaith, abundant prayers reveal infinite luminosity. And Sunday, April 11th, Live, Laugh, Love with Reverend Julianne Lewis. And here we go. All peaceful lifestyles, religions, cultures, belief systems, dragonflies, frogs are welcome here. Another frog. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you. And by the way, we got another frog yesterday. We have a frog with a Superman, and he's standing tall with a big S. So another frog comes to the house. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't resist him. I saw him at Lula's and I just felt as though he was lonely for me.
Yeah. Now our candle lighting. I live in light. I laugh in light. I love in the light. I am nourished and guided by the light. I lovingly share the light, for I am the light. I am the light. I am, I am, I am. What I'd like you to do right now is to close your eyes and send that love energy to everyone on the screen. Send that love energy. Feel that love energy. Feel that love energy in your heart. Feel how strong that love energy from our community is. Now, send that love energy out into the world, out into the US, out into the world, out to all our family and friends. And at this point in time, I will light the candle.
I live in the light. I laugh in the light. I love in the light. I am the light.
The origin of Live, Laugh, Love statement is thought to have come from the poem Success, written by Bessie Anderson Stanley in 1904. Wow, 1904. Man, I wasn't even born yet. And here we go with the poem. He has achieved success, who has lived well, laughed often, and loved much, who has enjoyed the trust of pure women, the respect of intelligent men, and the love of little children, who has filled his niche and accomplished his task, who has left the world better than he found it, whether by an improved poppy, a perfect poem, or a rescued soul, who has never lacked appreciation of earth's beauty or failed to express it, who has always looked for the best in others and given the best he had, whose life was an inspiration, whose memory a benediction. So what are you willing? What are you waiting for? Live, laugh, and love. Let me tell you, laugh a lot. Laugh a lot. It helps the soul. And now after this song, Chaplain Cindy will share. Life means so, well, life means so much. And now Chaplain Cindy.
I am thankful that life works. Hundreds of times today, my heart will beat and my lungs will inhale and exhale oxygen. Thousands of times today, the cells of my body will be repaired or replaced. The sun will rise and set at its appointed time. Women all over the world will have babies. Couples will fall in love. Plants will grow, waves will break upon the beaches, and animals will care for their young. Life works. Without any of us thinking about it or planning for it, life continues to work. Today, I give thanks that life is always working. Whether I'm awake or asleep, life is at work. Whether I am happy or stressed, life is at work. Life is at work every moment of every day, Today I acknowledge that life is always at work because life is of our Creator.
Last week, I shared that Passover and Easter was our time to recognize our truth, our freedom in life. And this is the time for us to rise, to see things about our lives, past, present, and future, to see them differently. It's important to not simply acknowledge what has happened or what we've achieved, but also to be honest and to learn from what we did well and what we feel as though we didn't do so well. It's an important opportunity for us, and that's one reason why I love Susan Statham's quote, "Your life is a story, write well, edit often." We are the writers of our own life stories. And knowing that, we decide what happens to the main character. Yeah, we take a deep breath in because sometimes it doesn't feel that way. I mean, let's stop and think about it for just a minute. Am I really writing my life story? Am I really? Well, mistakes are inevitable, and we must not only be good writers, but we must also be good editors. As scary as it might be, editing your life to change a career, to end a relationship, to no longer do what doesn't inspire you, to take a risk, to start your own business, to finally take that backpacking trip that you've been postponing. Seriously, you are the writer. You are the editor. You have the choice to decide what direction your life takes. So if you give yourself permission to reflect on the last 3 months and plan for the remaining months of this year and the next and forward from there, think about the chapters yet to be written. Think about those that need to be edited. When President Obama hosted his last White House Science Fair, highlighting the ingenuity and entrepreneurship of the next generation of scientists, engineers, mathematicians, and innovators, one budding scientist, 9-year-old Jacob Leggett, really got the president's attention, and he got mine. To back up just a minute from that event, Jacob was obsessed with 3D printers. And rather than sit by and wait for one to be presented to him, Jacob actually wrote letters to 3D printer companies and convinced them to provide him with free 3D printers. What would he give the companies? Written reviews of the machines. Now, is that a smart kid? Is that an innovative kid? Wow. Now, Jacob wanted something and he went after it. He didn't expect anyone to give it to him. Instead, he offered something in return. He saw a problem, lack of access to a 3D printer. He found a solution, writing reviews for 3D printers. And his clever solution led him to the White House Science Fair and a face-to-face meeting with President Obama. Jacob was only 9 years old, but his enthusiasm, his drive, his problem solving, his asking the right questions, what is that teaching you and me? How can we look at that as lessons learned in this life? Jacob got to personally show Obama his science fair project, a collection of toys and miniatures he made on the 3D printers. Obama actually tried out a bubble wand that Jacob had made, and he held a miniature model of the building in which they were standing. But before Obama could move on, Jacob had an urgent inquiry. Jacob said to him, "I have a question, Mr. President. Do you have a child science advisor?" It seems that Obama was very, very receptive to the idea. In a speech later that he gave, he mentioned Jacob by name, and he suggested it would be good to have a child science committee. I should add, by the way, Jacob had a good idea, Obama actually said. We should have a child's advisory group that starts explaining to us what's interesting to them and what's working and could help us shape advances in science, technology, engineering, mathematics, STEM education. Anyway, that was Jacob's idea, Obama continued. So way to go, Jacob, he said. This really gives us food for thought. I mean, here Jacob is, 9 years old, living his life to the fullest. Here the president of our country is recognizing what this young boy did. So we have to take a look at that ourselves, and we have to say, if I want something, I'm going to affirm with divine guidance, and I'm going to go after it. When I'm presented with a seeming problem, I'm not going to give up. Instead, I'm going to affirm divine guidance, and my creativity through divine guidance will find the answer. When someone asks for a favor, I'm going to support it because it's always important. But at the same time, when I ask someone for a favor and support, I'm going to return it. I'm going to offer. Well, I may not offer to be a science advisor by any sense of the imagination, but I will offer. These are things that we really owe ourselves, our main character. Our life has a purpose. Our story has power. Do we want someone to remember us as having life to the fullest, having lived life to the fullest? Do we really want that? If so, we have to embrace it, even and especially when life does seem challenging. It will be worth it. We keep moving forward. We chase after the good, and we know that we are more than capable. Yes, this life is ours. So I ask that we live in a way that we can say to ourselves every day, I am proud. Mistakes, accomplishments, and lessons learned in all. This life is ours. But most importantly, keep the pen in your hand.
Julianne sent me a poem. Number one, because it was funny, and number two, because she was too chicken to read it herself. And you'll understand that in a minute. It's called Invocation of Laughter by Velimir Klebnikov. And his original name was Viktor Vladimirovich Klebnikov. And he was born in 1885 and wrote this poem in 1904, Invocation of Laughter. Oh, laugh, laughers. Oh, laugh out, laughers. You who laugh with laughs, you who laugh it up laughishly, oh, laugh out laughingly. Oh, laughable laughterhood, the laughter of laughing laughters. Oh, unlaugh it out laughingly, belaughering laughus. Laughily, laughily, up laugh and laugh, laughings, laughlets, laughlets. Oh, laugh, laughers. Oh, laugh out, laughers.
Well, I have to admit that there is not a doubt that Lori's correct. I was too chicken to try it. To begin with, I don't do real well with Russian any more than I do with Hebrew. My Spanish is bad too. And here I am writing my own story. But we have to ask ourselves, what is laughter? Is it an emotion, a reaction, a behavior? Whatever it is, both kids and adults need more of it. Laughing is an outlet. It's an outlet for mental health, physical health, and yes, spiritual health. We cannot take life too seriously. We have to go with the flow. Now, there's a lot of people that say that love is a universal language. And others say music is a universal language. Well, I'm going to tell you, I believe laughter is also a universal language. I mean, just stop and think for a minute. Here we are looking at all these pictures of animals laughing, which is terrific. But stop and think about the times that you have heard the giggling melody of children. Their laughter is music. Their laughter is a natural part of life that's innate within babies. Even they begin smiling in the first weeks of life. And they laugh out loud within a few months. A child's laugh is, well, it's as unique as a snowflake. No two are the same. They sound like a snicker, a chuckle, a chortle, a cackle. Of the many gifts of human life experience, I appreciate children's laughter. I always have. I think it is probably because as a child, I didn't laugh much. I was told that laughing was an interruption and that I had to be quiet when I laughed or not do it at all. Let's be honest. That is not the truth of laughter. A rolling belly laugh ignites a harmony, kind of like a musical symphony to me. It's infectious, just like hilarity is. There's a bit of optimism plus laughter. It produces smiles of plenty. And what it is a feel-good potion, a universal remedy that soothes our weary minds and, yes, our body. It finely tunes our mental attitude. It relaxes anxiety. And what happens when that happens? Everything feels and looks different. Distressing emotions, such as worry and anger and sadness, are tremendously lessened when we're laughing. We laugh more with others than alone. It's one of the reasons why I am so pleased that we Zoom together, especially on Thursday gratitude mornings. But if we research and understand that the emphasis that the social and conversational nature of laughter is, it actually indicates a nonverbal method of communication and stimulates a sense of emotional connection. Now, I don't know how often we really think of laughter as an emotional connection, because sometimes we're sitting at home laughing at the TV. But still, there were writers that wrote that script. We're connected with them when we laugh. Now, in addition to that, we all know the saying, laughter is the best medicine. Have you ever really wondered how many body systems it really benefits? Laughter has a huge impact on both mental and physical health, and is possibly the cheapest medicine available, aside from fresh air, sunshine, and a little bit of exercise. Laughter can make you feel good. It can make you feel good in the present moment. It can build up good health in the future, and it can work to combat negative health from the past. There's a gentleman by the name of Dr. Lee Burke, who's Associate Dean of Research at Loma Linda University of Allied Health Professions. He encourages people to laugh every day. He began his study of laughter by being inspired by the Bible. In Proverbs, chapter 17:22, it says, "A merry heart does good like medicine, but a broken spirit dries the bones." He said that this actually refers to the integrative medical science of psychoneuroimmunology being stated in biblical terms. Now, that's a little hard for me to take, but yet at the same time, this was the starting point and is the core of the whole person care of mind, body, and spirit, he said. He continues to say that his research came to show that people who experience joyful laughter have positive responses within the immune system. Now, who was the first researcher to look at laughter as a medicine? A man named Norman Cousins. He was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease in the 1960s and told that he had 6 months to live. At that time, he was editor of the Saturday Review, and he had a life of massive stress and distress. So he hypothesized that he would need to produce good stress to see if he could reverse his prognosis. One day, against the advice of his doctors, he actually left the hospital, closeted himself in his apartment for 1 full month, doing what he enjoyed most: reading humorous stories and jokes, watching comedy movies, and reading his favorite comic books. He did nothing but laugh and laugh each day for 1 whole month. He also wrote original jokes, which he would read aloud to himself, then laugh like crazy. Every time he laughed, his pain was eased. At the end of the month, Norman Cousins returned to the hospital for a checkup. To the surprise of the medical staff who examined him, they found no trace of that dreaded disease. Yeah, he was actually completely cured, and he lived healthy over another 20 years. Now, Dr. Burke says that happy laughter, as opposed to nervous or embarrassed laughter, has a cascade of beneficial psychological, physiological changes conducive for happiness. He says, laugh as often and as much as you need until you feel good. Norman Cousins actually wrote, of all the gifts bestowed by nature on human beings, hearty laughter must be close to the top. This gift, we have to take a look at this maybe from a different perspective. Laughter is fun, yes, but have we really looked at it this way? It is both happiness and healing. It is something that brings us together and allows us to experience the happiness that our God longs for us to feel. I believe actually that God's will for us is happiness and a recognition of our true spiritual connection with each other. And this is why I have always said that laughter is one of the universal languages. So give yourself permission to take a look at how often do you laugh during the day? And how can you laugh a little bit more? The chaplain Laurie gave me a poem to read. And that poem is I Am Love. The author is unknown. I've read it a couple of times, and I really feel as though she made a very worthy choice. Some say I can fly on the wind, yet I haven't any wings. Some have found me floating on the open sea, yet I cannot swim. Some have felt my warmth on cold nights, yet I have no flame. And though you cannot see me, I lay between two lovers at the hearth of fireplaces. I am the twinkle in your child's eyes. I am hidden in the lines of your mother's face. I am your father's shield as he guards your home. Some say I am stronger than steel, yet I am as fragile as a tear. Some have never searched for me, yet I am around them always. Some say I die with loss, yet I am endless. And though you cannot hear me, I dance on the laughter of children. I am woven into the whispers of passion. I am in the blessings of grandmothers. I embrace the cries of newborn babies. Some say I am a flower, yet I am also the seed. Some have little faith in me, yet I will always believe in them. Some say I cannot cure the ill, yet I nourish the soul. And though you cannot touch me, I am the gentle hand of the kind. I am the fingertips that caress your cheek at night. I am the hug of a child. I am love. We have the opportunity to look at love differently, whether we're looking at it from the point of view of this book that Audrey Penn wrote, or from the point of view of the Course in Miracles, which I'm going to share the similarity of both. The Kissing Hand is on YouTube. It takes about 5 minutes to listen to. And I listened to it 5 times. I probably will listen to it again today, but that's who I am. I'd like to share Beverly Hutchinson McNiff. She wrote this in her newsletter. It's got titled The Kissing Hand. I have been trying to sort through things and give them away. I have the hardest time, though, giving books away. Each one has a message for me and a story behind each story, so my shelves get more and more full as I stack and double stack my bookshelves. I'll interrupt here for a minute because this is true in my house. My double stack on my bookshelves, you bet. Now she goes on to talk about her son. My son, Jeff, is just as bad, she says. He also can't give books away. He has some wonderful volumes from his childhood that neither of us wants to give away. One such book is The Kissing Hand. It is a story of Chester Raccoon, who was afraid to start his first day of school and wanted to stay home, safe with his mother. She tells him how much fun he will have in the school meeting. He'll know new people and have new friends, swinging on swings and learning new things. Plus, she tells him that she has a secret to make school feel just as safe and cozy as home. It's a very old secret called the kissing hand. You can probably guess what happens. Mother Raccoon opens Chester's little paw and kisses it. Chester feels that kiss rush from his hand up his arm and into his heart. His mother tells him that whenever he feels lonely or afraid, he needs simply press the palm of his hand to his face, and he will feel the safety and love of home. Chester goes to school knowing that his mother's love will always be with him. But before he leaves that first day, he gives his mother a kiss in her palm so she would feel the love and the safety as well. Isn't this the promise that God is giving us? There has never been a moment when the loving hands of God have not been holding us. It is time that we rise up, that we recognize this, so it can be experienced. In the text of the Course in Miracles, there's a section entitled The Call for Faith. It tells us that when we have faith in God, God, which is love, when we have faith in love, we awaken not only a strength in us, but also in ourselves, as well as all who walk this world with us. This is how true transformation begins. We will leave behind the shackles of the past because we are focusing on the answer instead of the problem. Every great achievement in the annals of history was accomplished not by those who focused on the failures, but those who learned from their seeming failures and used them to find the solution. The Wright brothers did not achieve flight by being afraid or feeling like failures when the airplane prototype crashed. Every day we face a world. Every day we face that world with a choice, whether to experience love or fear. One is all-encompassing, love, and the other does not exist. We have given our illusion of fear a lot of power over us, but illusions only have the power that we give them. We don't need to fight back against fear thoughts. We just need to look at them and find them wanting. After all, we each have a kissing hand, and that has been given us by our God. And that truth will never be extinguished by a lie. We must let God's answer ignite our hearts. So I'm asking that you open your hand right now. You look at your palm. God has placed a kiss there to remind you of his infinite love and faith, to remind you that you will awaken to your power as a holy and mature child of God, and you will release the blocks, the fears, to the awareness of love's presence. So I ask that you put your palm of your hand to your cheek. Feel the love of God that is your strength and your safety. And then you go forth and you share that love. You share that love with the world, with our nation, with our community, with our families, and yes, with ourselves. I am blessed as a child of God. And herein lies my claim to all good and only good. I am blessed. All good things are mine because God intended them for me. God's will for me is happiness. And our God supports us, protects us, and directs us in all things. His care is infinite, and it will be with me forever. And I am eternally blessed by his love. This love that I am.
We are all an instrument of the divine. Donations gratefully accepted at our website, at PayPal, or by mail. Look at that little piggy. Thank you. Isn't he cute? He's awesome. And now take your invisible check, put it over your heart, and say, divine love flows through me, blesses and multiplies all that I willingly give and all that I'm open to receive. Wow, look at that cat. I'm feeling generous. You may pet me, please. He looks like he wants to be petted. Cool cat.
I was standing by this fisherman out there on the bridge. He bagged small one after small one, put him in his little fridge. Well, then he caught himself a whopper, and I watched him throw it back. I couldn't help but ask him, hey man, why'd you do that? He pulled out this little skillet and said, see, it wouldn't fit. It was none of my business, but I couldn't help but wish he'd get a bigger pan, get a bigger pan. When you got big dreams, for heaven's sake, don't throw those dreams back in the lake. It's not that you can't have it all, you've just been dreaming way too small. Get a bigger pan, get a bigger pan. fisherman more times than I can count. Every time I felt unworthy, ran myself down. I'd get afraid and wouldn't play what I had there on the line, thinking that the big fish couldn't possibly be mine. But there's another fish to fry, and there's another day. Next time I hook the big one, I won't let him get away. I'll get a bigger pan, get a bigger pan, 'cause I got big dreams, for heaven's sake. Won't throw those dreams back in the lake. It's not that I can't have it all, I've just been dreaming way too small. I'll get a bigger pan, get a bigger pan. Figured out for self-esteem as well as dreams and trout. Get a bigger pan, get a bigger pan. When you got big dreams, for heaven's sake, don't throw those dreams back in the lake. It's not that you can't have it all, you've just been dreaming way too small. So get a bigger pan, get a bigger pan, get a bigger pan. Get a bigger pan, get the bigger, get the bigger, get a bigger pan, 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 great big, huge.
Get a bigger pan. I'm going to have to get a bigger pan for my enchiladas. I mean, our enchiladas. So prayer for protection, please. The light of God surrounds us.
I am the light.
The love of God enfolds us.
I am the love.
The power of God protects us.
I am the power.
The presence of God watches over us.
I am the presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine.
Okay. Rev Jay was telling me about the Easter Bunny last week and this week, and we kept talking about the Easter Bunny, and here you see him saying, hey, I'm staying away from the humans. So anyway, and we did see that video with Gina Autry with all the bunnies. That was awesome. That was fantastic, man. I really enjoyed it. And I could see Andy Devine with him too, and with his guitar, and they're singing, okay? But anyway, here's what the Easter Bunny told me, okay? And it wasn't a dream, it was a good dream. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Everyone needs a friend who is all ears. There's no such thing as too much candy. All work and no play can make you a basket case. A cute tail attracts a lot of attention for bunnies. Everyone is entitled to a bad hair day. You ought to see my hair. Let happy thoughts multiply like rabbits. We did have rabbits and they multiply fast. Some body parts should be floppy. Keep your paws off all others people's jelly beans, especially the licorice jelly beans. Good things come in small sugar-coated packages. Chocolate bunnies. The grass is always greener in someone else's basket. To show your true colors, you have to come out of the shell. The best thing in life are still sweet and gooey. May the joy of the season fill your heart so that we all live, laugh, and love, and eat chocolate Easter bunnies. We have a lot of those. It was a gift. Thank you. They are so good. Unmute, please. Thank you.
I really enjoyed the service. It's fantastic.
Thank you, Doug. It was fun to put together. Lori and Manny and I spent some time on this one trying to get it all coordinated, but we had fun with it. So thank you.
Hey, Doug, can you
Yeah.
can you send the kid over to my house for a haircut after your
Okay. Okay.
Oh, now you've got a job to do.
And give me a call.
Me too. So
Well, you're my mentor, and you're looking good.
jeez.
Well,
The service was so great. I'd love to see it again. What happens after this? Do you put things on YouTube, or is there a way to see it again?
yes, there is actually. You don't get the newsletter, dear?
No,
Oh, okay.
Okay, if you could send me your email address.
thank you.
And then sign you up for the newsletter too. That way you know what's going on every week and what isn't.
Okay, thank you.
You're
This
welcome.
was so good this week. Well, you guys are always awesome. We love you.
Well, we love you too, dear. Thank you. Thank you.
Laugh more, though. Laugh more. That causes you to love more, really. So.